The 90s Chicago Bulls, arguably the greatest dynasty of all time. I mean, you argue if it's the 50s, 60s Celtics, if it's the 80s Lakers, or if it's this man right here's team. Uh, and there is something really cool going on with the basketball from game 5 of the 1991 NBA Finals. That, of course, is where the great Scottie Pippen beat Magic Johnson and the LA Lakers. And it was the first of what would be 6 NBA titles. And now Scottie is doing something really awesome with that game ball. Scottie, thank you so much for being here. How are you, man?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing great. Now, if you've got younger people out there, Scottie, or if people have sort of, as time has gone by, forgotten about this game a little bit, just talk about the significance of this basketball. Again, that was used by you guys during that win, game 5 of the NBA Finals.
Yes, it was. And I think that ball really was the start of a dynasty and almost, I want to say, the end of a great dynasty in the Los Angeles Lakers, who we've known for many years in the 80s as Showtime. And pretty much they kind of were the show in basketball. But I think the game 5 ball that I have is very recognizable to some degree. And what we're trying to do is make it a real world asset because I know a lot of people know about the history of the Bulls, what we were able to do in the 90s. And I think this ball really sort of describes and tells a story about the start of a great run in basketball as a whole, but more so for Chicago Bull fans and basketball fans around the world.
That's interesting, Scottie, because I hadn't even thought about it like that. It's not just the start of your dynasty, but I know a lot of people thought the Lakers were going to win that series, and right, it's sort of the end of the Showtime Lakers. Did you have the ball, Scottie? I mean, had you held on to it for all of these, 33-ish years or so, or is this something that you have recently gotten back?
Oh no, 33 years I've held on to this ball. And I've held it right with my championship rings. And also, I have 6 replica championship trophies. So I keep it as close to my heart as I do those things because I feel like that this ball was something very meaningful for me. Even at the moment when I grabbed it, I sort of knew that that was going to be a start of something special, and lo and behold, it did. We were able to win 5 more titles after that.
Now, I know you've got a couple things going on in relation to the basketball. And correct me if I'm wrong here, Scottie, but you've linked up with Deion Taylor at Hidden Empire. Are you all making a documentary on this basketball?
Yeah, we're looking to do a documentary on this basketball because we think that there's a lot of stories to be told, and I hear a lot of stories about kids that tell me where they were in Germany or France, and they're waking up at 3, 4 in the morning, just having the opportunity to see NBA basketball, but they had an opportunity to watch what I consider a dynasty. 10 years, I felt like that basketball really came into a whole different level, climate. It became more globalized. We became part of USA basketball, and it just opened up the game for everybody. It became more of a worldly game instead of just an NBA game played here in America.
What is it going to focus, Scottie, on? Is it your whole career? Is it the Chicago Bulls? Is it that final series? Is it game 5? What do you have in mind for the doc?
I think it's going to be more about the whole run of that that season. I am working with a team, but my ideal is to see this ball really sort of tell a story of what it was like for basketball in the 90s and what it was like for our journey to get to that first championship.
That's so cool. Now, there's also some sort of crypto element to this, isn't there?
Yeah, well, what we've done with the ball is we've tokenized it, and we believe that this ball is real world asset. And so we want to make this ball as valuable as possible. So what we're doing, we're giving this ball back to the community and allowing them to see the value and also to build the value in this asset. So my team has really been behind it and putting together most of the work, but obviously I'm the one that grabbed the ball and I have the possession of it. But it's definitely something that we believe is going to be big.
Does that mean, Scotty, that fans can like buy a piece of the ball, or how does that work?
Yes, that's pretty much it. And they go to game5ball.com and
Okay.
you're able to look it up and figure out how you can get in, monetize a part of this legacy, a part of this dynasty that we've created.
How valuable do we think this ball is, Scotty? I mean, we've seen some sports and you know this as well as anybody. We've seen sports memorabilia go for crazy prices before. Whether it's basketball, baseball, football. How valuable do you think this is in relation to some of the other really expensive and cool sports memorabilia we've seen?
Well, it's working its way up. I mean, what we want to make this ball $100 million ball. So if we can continue to value it and show the right value in, especially in the cryptocurrency world, then we think we're on to something special, and it's definitely something new.
And I think, people might shudder a little bit when they hear that amount. But look, you've got NBA teams selling for billions of dollars right now. We're talking about a ball that you and Michael Jordan, start of this incredible dynasty that you guys created. I mean, this is pretty significant when you talk about the NBA and the NBA's history.
It is. And I mean, a lot of people have to really go back and look at video to see what that dynasty was like. But that's great because it does keep us current, it keeps us relevant, and people know exactly what I'm speaking of when I talk about the Game 5 ball.
That's so cool. Did you have any idea, Scotty, when you grabbed that ball 30 something years ago that this thing could be, really valuable? And hey, that's something I should probably try and take home with me.
I knew I was grabbing a piece of history. I knew I was grabbing the first championship that the Chicago Bulls had ever won. I knew that I was grabbing the first championship that I had ever won, as well as my other teammates. And from there, you just feel like that you got a piece of a special night, you got a piece of a special moment, and that was a part of your career. And I didn't foresee the opportunity of being able to share it from a community standpoint, but it's been great.
Yeah, kind of cool with technology now that you can actually share it with the fans out there, right? It's like, how would you have done that back in the day? These type of things didn't exist.
Well, I think that's the whole great thing about this is that it didn't exist, and now this opportunity from the crypto world and being able to turn this into some real world asset, it's just definitely been a game changer.